We are the Guinea Pig Collective. All will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
Guys, we are hanging out with Dark Helmet, the transforming sci-fi pig, getting his nom on. He's got a nice big green bell pepper in there, nomming away, and we're getting ready to take a look at something that is Transformers related. So, Transformers Studio Series, Transformers the movie. We've got Constructicon Mixmaster. All right, man. Third one in the set now. We already got Scrapper. We've already got Bone Crusher. Now we got Mixmaster. So let's go ahead. We'll get this one out of the box, and Helmet will tell you all about it. I will say right before we get started, Hasbro are a bunch of doofuses. So this says 5 out of 5 out on it. So, and even if you say Scavengers 4 out of 5, that means instead of counting the 2 in the single box, which is Long Haul and Hook, as 3 and 4, they just count them as 3 altogether. Ay, ay, ay.
Mixmaster! Wait! The Constructicons form Devastator, the most powerful robot. We should rule.
Here we go with Mixmaster in a stationary pose. And here we go with Mixmaster and of course the G1 Mixmaster standing side by side. You can see where a lot of things were carried over, where a few things were changed. Go ahead and stop the dial and bring them in. And there we go with the 2 of them. Very similar. Of course, a few improvements made on the new one to make it look a little bit more like it did in the cartoon. But overall, the aesthetics has still been pretty much carried over. Like even with the original one's face, they didn't change much from that to the cartoon. Here we go with both of our Mixmasters with their guns, showing a little bit of the articulation off on the new one. This one also had a few of these port-in pieces. So let's take a quick look at his gun, see how well they captured it. So there goes the new gun. There goes the old gun. They didn't even capture the likeness even close, not even whatsoever. So a little bit of a miss there. With a little bit of luck, you can kind of get them in a running position and balanced. Got to play with him a little bit, but you can pull it off. The pose right here with Mixmaster, you can see a lot of movement he has. He does have a bit of a problem with this top of his arm, like it doesn't move out very far. Even moving this way, there's not enough room. Moving this head is an absolute pain. You got to kind of reach in between everything. There's not a lot of room. There's almost no movement up, very little movement down. It's all side to side. There's no waist turn whatsoever. The arms only move that far, right up to the tires. That is literally it. These legs, while they got some decent movement in them, the way these proportions are, he cannot get down into a kneeling position, not even close. There are some big takeaways on this one. I mean, what's in here isn't horrible, but this is far from perfect. It could have been done a lot better. And of course, along with the rocks down at the feet, you do have a twist right there and a twist right there above the elbow. Here we go with Bone Crusher and Scrapper with Mixmaster, and you can see, let's go ahead and stop that dial. You can see that Mixmaster he's a bit larger than either one of these two. So, I mean, he kind of feels more like a Voyager class than the other two do. I mean, he's a lot bigger than either one of them. I mean, these two are roughly the same size. I mean, technically Bone Crusher, who's the $25 one, the deluxe, he's just as big as a Voyager class and a little bit bigger than Scrapper. I mean, Scrapper has a few more pieces hanging off him, but you look at the size discrepancy between them and Mixmaster, he actually feels like a Voyager class, where the other two, not really. It feels like they really stretched it to make Scrapper Voyager while keeping this guy deluxe.
Mixmaster, we need acid. I know. I'll combine some of each of the stronger acids.
Here we go with Mixmaster in his mixer mode. doesn't look too bad. The mixing drum does not move whatsoever. He does have wheels that kind of partially turn. A little tricky sometimes getting him into his vehicle form, but it really doesn't look that bad. Let's go ahead and compare him to the old G1. You can see it's basically the same thing. Color's just a little bit different, but otherwise it's captured pretty well, and it does look like the cartoon one, so no complaints right there. And of course, like all the other Constructicons, multiple ports, you can put his gun into the vehicle mode, creating an attack vehicle. The original Mixmaster toy came with Devastator's gun, so you can kind of port Devastator's gun on top, but it was really weird as the port size seems to be different on that, and it doesn't sit up there very well. It's kind of odd. It's very freaking loose. A final pose and our rundown on this Mixmaster figure. Why he does look really good, both the robot and the vehicle form. The vehicle form really isn't too difficult to figure out. There's a few tricky things, but overall, it's not too bad to transform once you remember how to do it and what sequences to do. He doesn't really come with much. Comes with his blaster, and he comes with his mixing drum that is a stationary piece, which kind of sucks. You know, it'd be nice if it would have turned. And there's definitely a lot of points of articulation missing this. The shoulders are really bad. The head has almost zero movement. Some of the way that the proportions on this guy are kind of out of place, so if you try to put him in kneeling position, it's completely just doesn't work. The arms only move 90 degrees because the big tires are in the way. They couldn't move them out of the way. This guy definitely has a lot of misses on him. He does feel a lot bigger. He does feel more like a Voyager class figure, but there's a lot of lack of articulation in this. The head should have been moved forward a little bit more, a little bit better of a ball, and you could have got a lot more range of movement, and you could have actually got to the damn head to move it around. There was nothing in the way that they couldn't have moved it forward a little bit. Way too many misses on this one to give this a really good score. Overall, a pretty cool piece. The aesthetics are pretty good on it. The articulation is kind of meh on this one. So the best that we can give Mixmaster, well, the best we're giving him is we're going to give him a 7 out of 10. Just did not do it for me. Right before we get out of here, here goes a shot of the 3 Constructicons that we got so far with Mixmaster, Scrapper, and Balloon Crusher.
Who are you calling inferior? Nobody would follow an uncharismatic boar like you!
The Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers.